Team, what is going on, man? I know it's been a while. I've been meaning to do a lot of videos for you guys. I mean, a lot of things changed, been changing my personal life, professional life, a lot of new things with the KDS brand that I'm really stoked about. Big announcement, I will be relocating out of California soon. To be announced, I'll let you guys know where exactly I'll be heading. I want to keep that little a secret for now, but it's gonna be nice, it's gonna be big, it's gonna be great for the company, great for my personal life, and I'm gonna be able to provide much easier, much more content for you guys, the subscribers, and for my other social channels as well. Look, I wanted to get on and discuss, a lot of you guys talk about Carbine Setup. I really wanted to just make a quick video for all of you as to how I set mine up and kind of the essential gear you need to be effective or to start out. I think you need, if you're first starting out, if you just bought an AR or you've been shooting AR for quite some time and you're like, what gear do I need for my personal situation? Because not everyone's situation is the same, and you may need something, you may not need something, because there's a lot of little accessories that you can put on ARs. But these are the things that I suggest for first starting out and are very effective even if you just run this all the time. For me right now, I have a few ARs, but this is the one I mainly use right now for a lot of my training, a lot of my courses. And this is the Cobalt Kinetics Professional Series AR platform. It's a 12.5 upper. I really like this company. It's a fairly new company. Like, it has been around as long as like the Dano Defense, LWRC, the mainstream companies. But nonetheless, the performance speaks for itself. This thing is a beast. I mean, I've probably shot over 3,000 rounds thus far. I've had it less than 6 months, and have yet to have a single problem. This thing shoots flat. It's one of the flattest rifles I've ever shot personally in my career. So I can't speak highly of it. Great people that work over there as well. But starting out, look, I suggest when you first buy a platform, you probably want to look into, hey, optic is the main thing, okay? Don't go cheap on optic whatsoever, okay? Get a good piece of glass, a good reliable optic, because you won't be, if you go cheap, you'll be disappointed, okay? My recommendations, I got Trijicon, Leopold, EOTech, Aimpoint, okay? Those are kind of the top four I suggest. What I'm running is the Trijicon MRO, okay, with the 1/3 co-witness riser mount already mounted to the sight, okay? My other rifle you see a lot, that I run the EOTech, the EXPS3, and it's an awesome sight. I've been running EOTech for over a decade. I recently just switched to this because I wanted to keep it consistent with my RDS on my handgun, and I'm liking it thus far. This thing's fast. I acquired the dot quickly as a big objective lens, which I like, and quite simply, just a dot in there, and good brightness as far as like high lit environments, like desert environments where I shoot. Brightness is good. It goes bright enough so where I don't lose the dot. It's easy to pick up, easy to acquire. I really like this sight, highly recommend it. But also recommend other optics too, like the EOTechs or the Aimpoint T2s, Aimpoint Micros. They're great sights, great options. If you're gonna go with one of those, either EOTech or Aimpoint, really check into riser mounts. Unity Tactile makes some great riser mounts. Kind of come back here to the charging handle. This is a Raptor charging handle, Radian Raptor charging handle, which I like. It's ambidextrous. It's flared out, much larger than kind of a stock charging handle. Easier to manipulate, easier to charge the rifle. Highly recommend. I mean, this thing is well worth its weight in gold. They're not that expensive, and it's well worth the money. It's gonna, trust me, up your performance with the manipulations with the rifle. Coming forward, you'll probably see I got some form lock tape. This is basically medical Coban, but it's just, I keep it there for kind of heat transfer as well. Also with wire retention. Below this, underneath this, I run emissary wire holders or retainers that they're M-lock. You just go in there and you can punch the wire in there. It's great, it's legit. This is Emissary Defense little foregrip, which I like a lot. This thing is awesome, one of my favorite ones this far. I use a ton of foregrips, mag pulls, etc. I mean, this one by far just feels great. I love the curvature. It's not too complicated. It's not overly big, and it's awesome. Really gives you that leverage you need to really run that gun quickly. I'm a big fan of that. Another piece of equipment I would highly recommend, if you're just going to go optic and foregrip, I really recommend you get a nice light for your AR. Be a lot of situations, especially if you're concerned with a self-defense situation, light is critical. Okay, I'm running the Mod Light OKW head, the rifle light setup with mount, and then a Unity tactile pressure pad. This Mod Light comes, you have to buy separately the Surefire tail cap and the Mod Light, or excuse me, the Unity tactical pressure pad to go with this light to set it up correctly. You can just do a push button. I don't like that. I like to buy the tail cap with the pressure pad to put on the rail system, because when I grip it, I can just manipulate the light on and off with my thumb, which I think is nice, rather than me trying to reach for a push button on the tail cap of a light. I can just activate it really quick. It's a white light. For us civilians out there, I'm a civilian now, just white light, we need to be able to identify the target. It's huge. I'm gonna do a separate video on this with rifle lights or EDC flashlights. I'm a big fan of Mod Light. I mean, I went recently, not so long ago, went to a low light course and used a Mod Light out there, and man, I was blown away, and with the performance and just the visibility, the candela strength. I mean, everything about it was impressive. And a big thing with firearms comes target ID. Kind of think about real world situation. We need to be able to identify our target. We need to make sure, hey, if we're gonna, before we pull that trigger in a situation, we need to make sure that we are shooting at a deadly threat, okay? I.e., if it's a low light environment, we need to have a good flashlight so we could see their hands or see what's on them, if in fact they do have a flashlight. I kind of put this in perspective for you. When I was in that low light course, we did a drill where basically we started back on the 50-yard line, and whatever flashlight we had on, we brought with us, we had to illuminate the target, and from that 50 yards, we had to basically identify if that target was armed or unarmed, was it a shoot or no shoot target. And it would give us like 3 or 4 seconds to try to figure it out and engage if it was a deadly threat. If not, then we would slowly kind of incrementally move up the yardage and move closer to that target. And you'd be surprised that some of the people were using like Surefires or other lights that guys weren't really identifying what was in their hands until damn near about 5 yards away. So that's just a simple kind of perspective and drill that this is key. Light is key. A good light is key. And don't go cheap on that as well, because there's a lot of other kind of BS lights out there as well. Don't go cheap, okay? You hear this, buy once, cry once, do it, okay? Invest. A lot of, teammates, former teammates, people I know ask me, hey, what are some good recommendations for an AR platform? Like I just told you one, Cobalt. Daniel Defense is great. LWRC is great. Knights Armament's great. I mean, there's so many great companies out there. Look, but don't go cheap on these platforms, okay? Trust me, you're gonna pay for it in the long run. Invest in a nice one. Yes, you're probably gonna invest about $3,000, $4,000 at the end of the day. Some are just $3,000, $4,000 bare bones rifles, some are more, some are less. But if you invest a good, maybe upwards of $2,500 to $3,000, you're gonna pretty much get this. And this, you will be satisfied pretty much your lifetime. I mean, this thing will last forever, okay? And you'll be happy with it. And you could always add things. You could, if your situation dictates, like my other ones, you may see my other videos, my Knights, I have an app peel on there with another Unity tactical pressure pad that's it's light and laser capable. Okay, that's for if you're doing night vision ops or training, etc. Okay, that's really only the applicability. An app peel maybe in a overt setting is more of a compliance thing if you're using Viz Laser, or you could use them as a directional kind of aid Back in my day when I was a SEAL, we would use the Viz laser, kind of talk people on and say, hey, come over here, or we would just basically, as deterrence, place the laser on the subject to gain compliance, okay? We really would never use it as an aiming tool to engage with, but at night we definitely used the infrared light. That was the main capability back then with our knots. So whatever your situation dictates, whatever you're training to, or you're able to train to, then that's going to dictate your rifle. But this right here is kind of the bare bones of what you need. And last but not least, a sling. So many people ask me, hey, you like single point, you like dual point sling. Look, you've probably seen all my videos, and I'm a huge advocate of single point slings. I've been using them for years, and I like the single point sling. And the reason I like it because I could really manipulate this rifle really well. When the sling is only attached to one position on the rifle, I have full manipulation of this thing. But this is a Blackhawk sling, okay, which I like. I'm a huge fan of, obviously. I'm sponsored by their company. Their gear is great, but this is a single to dual point. Okay, you could just pop this off, and if you have an attachment, you can just go straight into dual point. Okay, little QD attachment, and then here's loosen, tighten. Very easy. This thing is a great sling. I've had this thing for years now, and it's proven. Okay, but a lot of the training I do is really weapon manipulation heavy, so the single point sling is best for me. Okay, a dual point sling might be best for you out there, but I just like the option of I have both in this sling, so I can go back and forth if necessary. I look back and how many times I used the dual point sling when I was a SEAL. Not very often. I'd use it when we would do long inserts in. If I'm doing a lot of land warfare, I'm humping a lot, or just to kind of help me distribute that weight. A dual point sling works best. You can really cinch it up to your body. I found that's when I busted it out. But some guys rocked it all the time that were on my team. So it's just kind of personal preference. You know, we would like to say back in the day, individual shooter skills. Look, we all have our own individual shooter skills, and I'm giving you recommendations on the stuff that I used to use and how I set up my kit. This is pretty much how I set up my rifle back in the day, except I had a nap peel on it. And that was it. Not too crazy, okay? But this is what I recommend. So comment below, like I want to make some more videos like this and talk about my setup, my kit, also provide educational content for you. Comment below once I post this in the feed. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're running, what kit you have, your setup. Post pictures, post videos, and give me some ideas of future videos, because I want to start doing live Q&As for you guys. I want to try, my goal is once a week. I want to do once a week with you guys, and maybe once or twice a month on my YouTube channel. Just kind of how I can balance that schedule, because I want to provide more educational content for you. And that's kind of the goal with KDS, and just keep putting it out there for you guys, because I haven't really done so much in the past. I really want to do more. I have a lot of kind of goals and aspirations with the business. So let me know what you think. I hope this video added value to you guys, and I'll see you next time. Teams.